So, good morning to all of you. Today I'm going to start with chapter 22, that is Internet Security. So, in this chapter, we'll learn what are cyber threats and what are the different types of threats we all are targeted with, and how we can protect ourselves from those threats. Okay, so let's begin with this chapter. What is a cyber threat? Basically, it is a malicious attempt or an offensive action to steal, damage, or disrupt a computer information systems, infrastructures, or computer networks or personal computer devices using various methods. So, what are those various methods? Out of that, the first one is malware, which is basically referring to all the type of attacks you have, whether it is virus, worms, all collectively will be known as a malware. Okay, so first one under that we are going to start with virus, and remember all these are basically your computer programs which are created by professional programmers only, and their motive is something wrong. So let's start with a virus. A computer virus is a type of unwanted computer program which is developed by miscreants with an intention to infect the files of a computer, to corrupt a database, or to hamper the functioning of a computer system. So basically their intention is to infect the files of your computer. It will make your computer, means some of the files will be corrupted and your system will not be functioning properly. Now worms. Worms are the computer programs or algorithms which are alien to the host computer and are designed purposely slow down the functioning of a computer. You all know that if you have proper RAM in your system will be working properly, and if it is filled, it will work slowly. So worms, what do? They replicate themselves and they cover a large area in your system, and because of which your system starts working slowly. So some of the examples of worms are given like Linux, ball pit, Morris worm, many are there. Learn about 2 to 3. Next comes Trojan horses. These are difficult to remove by antiviruses also sometimes. These are also infectious programs which silently infect the computer and corrupt the files of a host computer. Such often programs accompany computer games. Basically, it will come in the form of an icon of game and it will look very interesting and people will try to open it. And the moment they open it, your system is infected. Okay. Next is spywares. Spywares are the programs which infect and collect information of the computer without the owner's knowledge or consent. A spyware generally infects a computer system by getting transmitted through internet, websites, web pages, emails, or through a network of computers. So if you are using internet, you are surfing internet, there can be some programs which are installed on a computer without your knowledge, and they will try to steal information regarding your system, your hardware, or sometimes your personal information as well. Next is boot sector virus. Booting, the process, you must be knowing that basically your instructions which are required to start your system are there in ROM, and the moment you start the system, all those basically OS, it comes to RAM and the booting process is done. And there is a location in that area which is known as MBR. It stands for master boot record, where the important files are stored for booting process. And if the location, what these boot sector viruses do, they change the location of that file from MBR to some other location, and at the time of booting when these files are searched, these will not be available. So that's why their main target is to means make the system in a condition where it will not start. And why it will not start? Because the boot files are not located available at the desired location. Their location has been changed by the means the virus, boot sector virus. Next is program file virus. Program file viruses are those viruses which will infect the type of files which are having the extension exe. All the executable files, means executable files are only which helps you to start a program, and if those files only are corrupted, you won't be able to open a particular software. Like you had installed Microsoft Word and now the exe of that file only is corrupted, you won't be able to open that file. Next, spam, you must have heard about it. Another name for spam is junk mail. It refers to an unwanted and unsolicited message which is received in the inbox of a person's email account or in news groups. The one who sends the spam is called a spammer, and their main motive is to advertise for products and services. You must be visiting different locations and they collect your email ID, and then they start sending the means unwanted or junk mails. And you know, there is AI programs in your mailbox also, which keeps an eye on the source of your email, from where you are getting that email. And if that email address is something fishy, it will be marked as spam. So you must have noticed a spam folder is also there in your mailbox. Next is denial of service attack. Denial of service aims at shutting down a computer or service, and it happens when you are part of a network, causing it to be inaccessible to its intended users. We know that in a network we share our computers, and if computer number one is trying to connect to computer two, and if that attack is there, you won't be able to access that particular computer. And sometimes your system will start shutting down in between without your knowledge. You haven't done anything, but it starts shutting down. So that can be a DOS attack. The attacks accomplish this mission by flooding the target with traffic or more requests than they can handle, or flooding it with information. You will start getting the request that somebody is trying to means gain access to your system, and again it will come, and it will be more than what you can handle at that particular point of time. Then we have men in the middle attack, which the acronym is MITM. Like if two people are talking and somebody is trying to hear it without their knowledge, that is your man in the middle attack, that is eavesdropping attack. It occurs when attackers insert themselves into a communication between two parties, that is client and server. Once the attacker interrupts the traffic, they can filter and steal the data. It basically happens in defense services. Okay, next is spoofing. It is the act of disguising a communication from an unknown source as being from known. Like you're chatting with someone, you feel like that you know that person, but that is a person whom you don't know, and they're trying to steal your information through that chatting. Then that will be your chat spoofing. Same way email spoofing, you will feel that yeah, this message is from an authorized source, you know that person, but that mail has come from someone who is trying to imitate like someone else. So that will be known as email spoofing. It can be done when you're talking on phone to someone, somebody is imitating to be your friend but he is not, so that will be phone spoofing. So email spoofing and chat spoofing is there. Email spoofing is one of the most common security threat these days. This process involves sending emails to the targeted recipients to make them believe that these emails originate from trusted resources. The purpose of spoofing is to gain access to recipients' personal information. Same way when you chat to any unknown person and you feel like that you know that person, that is your chat spoofing, and there also the target is to collect information about you only. Then comes phishing. This term we have already used so many times. It is an act of sending an email to a user, misleading him to believe that it is from a trusted person or organization. It is not spoofing. Like you got a mail from flipkart.com. Just notice the spelling. Usually Flipkart is having FLIPKART, but you got the message from FLIPCART. Then you clicked on that message. You enter the username password on that site, but that's a fake site. So you entered your username password, you saved your password there. So that is the process. They are imitating to be them someone else, and they started collecting information about you. Suppose on that site you purchased something, you entered your credit card details, so everything will be stolen by them. This process is known as phishing, and it can cause heavy financial losses and all. Okay, so the last topic, that is how you can safeguard your browser and all, that will I'll show. Okay, now so let's start with that. Now, best practices for internet security. What you can do for keeping your system safe. Okay, so you can keep your password safe. You can go for secure transactions, like you can check whether a padlock icon is there before the site or not. If that padlock icon is open, it means that site is not safe. Install antivirus software. Use a firewall. Firewall when you are Yeah, I was talking about using a firewall. If remotely somebody is trying to log into your computer and they are not genuine one, then firewall protects you from that. It can be in hardware and in software format you can use. Do not open attachments from unknown sources. Obviously, if you don't know the source from where it has come, it is not in your address book, don't open that attachment. Scan all portable devices before use. Make it a habit. Install antivirus, update it, and whenever you insert any external device, do scan it before using it. Restrict the number of users on the computer. As I told, when you're working in a network, so many requests will come to you that somebody wants to access some data on your computer. So limit it to some like 4 to 5 users at a single point of time can access my computer. Although it's very difficult, but you can go for that. Update all the software regularly. You must have noticed that if you have Windows, you will be getting regular updates on that, and in Android phones also you get updates. Why? Because people who are working behind those softwares, they try to find out the loopholes through which people can access your system, and they try to remove it. So if you update that, those loopholes are removed. So update your softwares regularly. Do not use pirated software. We all know that. Backup your data regularly. Keep a backup device wherever, whatever you're working for the whole day, let it be backed up. In case your system is corrupted, you can get the data again in your system from the backup device. Then use data encryption. If you're communicating with someone, there are many encryption softwares available through which you can encrypt your data, which can be not understood by any third person to whom you are not communicating. Okay, that's why whenever we enter the password, it comes in asterisk format. It is also a type of encryption. Make a startup disk. Yeah, this will help you when you are a target of boot sector virus attack. If you are keeping the instructions safely in a different disk where all the bootable instructions are stored, in case your system is having issue in getting started, means in booting process, then you can insert that particular disk. It can be a CD, DVD, whatever you have, and your system will start. Never leave your computer unattended. If you have something important in your system, if you have logged in and you have left that system like that, any other person can use your computer, in that case they can steal your information. So don't leave your computer unattended. Clear cookies in your browser. You know that cookies are the temporary files where all the data like password entered or any other data which you enter, those all are getting stored. So make it a habit to clear the cookies in your browser. So next we'll start with the browser one. Yes, next is how you can make the settings of Firefox, which you can delete the cookies, you can save your remove your browsing history and all. So this is the first window for Mozilla Firefox, which will help you to go to the settings where you can remove all those things which you don't want. How it can be done? Some of the things in the new browser are different, and some are different from what is given in the book. So I'm just opening the book. Here, from this part where three horizontal bars are there, click on that, go to settings part, go to, wait a minute, yeah, go to settings part. From here, settings, and whatever changes you want to make related to cookies and all, you can make it here. Like privacy and security, you will go to. In that, do you want to save login password? If you don't want that, sometimes when you log in, it will ask you to save your password. If you don't want it to be asked, you can remove it. If you want, let it be. Autofill logins and password. Once you have saved the password and login, next time you are trying to log in, you can click on this. Means automatically that password and login ID will be entered. You need not do this. If all these are checked, you can deselect also. Then cookies can be cleared from here. Then on address bar, browsing history, you want bookmarks, you want all those settings are there. If you want to change, yeah, to permissions of camera, microphone, to which browser you have given to particular website, I don't want to give that permission, then you can enter the website address or URL, and it will be blocked from that microphone and all. You must have noticed when you're opening a particular site and there is an something you want to speak, it will ask you, do you want to allow microphone here? If you have already made it yes and you want to remove it, you can come to this and you can search that particular website and you can block it. So all these options are there which can be set from here. So try it once. Obviously you will understand easily. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.